Hey everybody, Grest here. So today I got a story for you about an old shotgun sitting right here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Alrighty folks, so what we have here is a Savage Stevens Model 67E Series 12 gauge pump shotgun. So just to show you folks that we are clear and safe, nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. So the story on this thing is that my friend and neighbor behind me, he picked this thing up doing a job. It was at an old person's house and it was kind of sitting in the corner. And it was missing a bunch of parts. So I'll kind of roll in the pictures that I have. Unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of before pictures, but basically it had the action pump assembly here, but it was missing the entire tube, magazine, plunger, and spring. And this is a rather old shotgun, so I'm not sure exactly how many of these they made or how many years they made them. One of the things that I could tell right off the bat is that somebody had been working on this thing, because if you looked at the screws on here, you can see they're kind of boogered up. And for those that don't know, there's such thing as a right tool for the job. So here I got my set of Brownells magnet-tip screwdrivers, and if you get one of these sets, if you're working on older firearms, you don't want to mess up the screws in the finish, like revolvers, lever action, stuff like that. Definitely pick up a set of these from Brownells. They make a bunch of different sets. But in any event, I actually gave a set of these away at one of my giveaways a couple years back. But essentially they have different size screwdriver tips so that you can get the right size tip for the screw. Okay, so I just grabbed one out of there, and you can see it kind of fits that one tight, but this one here not. So most likely what happened with this screw, I'll try to see if I can bring it a little closer. You can see somebody was using the wrong type of screwdriver and they probably slipped or boogered it up. So I could tell that somebody had been working on this thing. And so I took the bolt assembly out. I took the trigger assembly out, trigger hammer, that kind of drops out as an assembly. And as soon as I pulled this thing out, springs fell out. And when I started researching the springs to see the profile, they were incorrect. And I'll try to roll in a picture here, a drawing of the springs that I had issues with. But I ended up figuring out the profile through some trial and error and pictures and stuff online. And I was able to put this thing back together for my neighbor. I was lucky I was able to find the mag tube. So these are not in production. The spring and the follower, however, you can still get those easier. The mag tube is actually a used one that I was able to find. The other thing that was going on with this shotgun was it had a lot of rust on it. So this thing, when I got it, had cobwebs and rust and all that stuff going on it. And so I spent some time with some 4/0 bronze wool and some Kroil. So if you don't know what Kroil is, this is the best thing since sliced bread. If you need a penetrant lubricant, Kroil works really good. It's like PB Blaster but on steroids. I always have a can of this stuff sitting around. You can definitely pick this up over at Brownells as well. So I get most of my supplies from them. It's not expensive. It is not inexpensive for a can of this stuff, but I'm telling you, have some around. You'll never know when you need it. But anyway, so my method for cleaning little pitted rust off of a blued finish is 4/0 which is really fine bronze wool and some sort of penetrant like croyle. And you can kind of see a little bit of the patina, as they call it, still left in the bluing. But all that pitting, or not pitting, it won't take away pitting, but if there's any surface rust or speckled rust, it will take all that out. And you can see how nice this receiver looks now. Like I said, I wish I would have taken some better pictures initially, but I wasn't really thinking about that. I just wanted to work on it and get it fixed up for my buddy. So anyways, shooting experience, I did take this thing out and I shot a box full of skeet loads. So this is takes 12 3/4 inch shells. This thing shoots pretty smooth. Skeet loads are pretty lightweight anyways. You know, I did have a couple shells kind of hang up a little bit as they were loading up. So I don't know if that's a shell issue. Sometimes shotguns can get a little bit picky about the shells. It can be a little bit long or too short or whatever. But overall it worked really, really well. So I'll roll in some shooting footage so y'all can see. But really cool shotgun. I'm glad my buddy brought this thing to me because it was a basket case and I had no idea I'd be able to use it. Kind of hate to see it go home, but it looks like later today it's going back to my buddy. Looks like it shoots pretty dang good to me. Pretty nice looking scattergun. Nice gold bead sight on the front that I put on there. Ended up having to, as far as the parts, I had to take this thing all the way apart. It looked like somebody had some problems with the bolt release button on the back. The spring was all mangled. It was missing the mag tube, mag spring, mag follower. The front sight fell off also, and you know, just had a bunch of rust. But man, it's a nice classic looking shotgun here. So alrighty, so I appreciate everybody watching today's video on this old shotgun and listening to the story of me kind of putting this thing back together and fixing it for a friend of mine. Really cool old piece. I've actually talked to some folks that own these in various different forms. They made a lot of versions of these over the years. If you have any questions or comments, definitely put those down below. If you have experience with one of these, I'd definitely like to hear it. If you're looking for parts and tools for your gunsmithing experiences, accessories, etc., definitely go check out my friends over at Brownells. You could use code BOP10. Tell them I sent you, and reckon that about wraps it up. So appreciate everybody watching and subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next video. Y'all take it easy.